Excellent. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Good to see you all on our regular Wealth Warriors Zoom call on a Sunday evening, 10 p.m. UK time. And as I can see from a lot of people across the pond there in the Americas, it's a good time for you guys at this time of day as well. So that's good to know. So we're going to run through a standard Wealth Warriors presentation this evening. There's been a couple of things that have happened that you're going to want to ask me questions about, which I fully understand. And not absolutely certain I have answers, but you'll notice that because of the things that have happened, there is a slight change in focus in the presentation today. So well, you'll pick up on that as we go through things. So there's good things to learn, and I'm going to chuck in a couple of videos as well, or certainly one video from one of the platforms, because I find it quite fascinating. I was actually shown a video the other day that I've been trying to find, and I've not been able to find it. I don't know if it's been removed or I'm just looking in the wrong place. But I'll try and get that organized for next week, and you will absolutely love that video. So without further ado, I'm going to share my screen. We've got a PowerPoint presentation, and I know some people don't like PowerPoint presentations. Personally, I do, simply because it means I can keep myself on track. I don't wander off and talk about too much weird and wonderful stuff. I don't go off a tangent too far. So the presentation keeps me on track for getting everything said. Everything that needs to be said is in the presentation. And hopefully it's something visual for you to look at, because people learn in different ways. Some people like me to say things. Some people like to read things or see things on the screen. Okay, so we've got the option of both options, both learning systems working for us with a PowerPoint presentation. So that's why I do it. So welcome to Wealth Warriors. This is a Wealth Warriors presentation. In that not every Wealth Warriors presentation is like this. There are some that are specific just to a particular strategy, to a workshop, to a teaching system, or to a platform. So this is a Wealth Warriors presentation by virtue of the fact it's a Wealth Warriors presentation. So let's get the disclaimer out of the way. Nothing in this presentation is to be taken as financial or investment advice. And Wealth Warriors is not an investment platform, it's a community. Now, I said last week, if you wouldn't mind staying behind after we switch the recording off, because I want to discuss something about this with you. I forgot, and so did everybody else on the call. So I would like to address that with you guys. If you're happy to have an input into what we're going to do going forward, I'd appreciate your input. But we'll do that after the recording is finished. But if you do decide to invest in any of the platforms discussed in this presentation, only use money you can comfortably afford to lose and carry out your own due diligence. So what is the problem? Why have we gone to all the trouble of developing something called Wealth Warriors? Why don't we just get into different platforms, chance our arm, and see if we can make some money? Well, there's a number of different reasons, and you'll see them unfold before your very eyes during this presentation. But first, we look at what the problems are. And the problem with online businesses, there are just too many scams out there. In the offline world, there aren't as many scams. There are some, people phone you up and try and convince you that you've won the lottery or something. You're just going to send them £500 to activate a Visa card or something, and then they'll send you your $2 million. So there are some offline, but most scams are online. We want to avoid them, of course, because scams simply mean you put your money into something and you never see your money again. Those businesses aren't scams, are so poorly run that they go bust. And that's quite a lot of businesses, online and offline businesses. There were businesses in your hometown, they were there 5 years ago, they're not there now. Okay, so a lot of those, they weren't scams. They didn't try and get customers to hand over money for fake products. Okay, what actually happened there is that they were the wrong business in the wrong area, the wrong product line, the wrong price point, just not enough customers in that area, so too specialized maybe. So they're just so poorly run. And a lot of people, even though they're good at what they do for business, they don't understand how to run a business. Okay, they don't know how to manage business. They don't know the governance of a business. And mostly that's based around finances. Most people do not understand finances. And in fact, if you look, there's a lot of people can't even run their household finances, let alone running the finances of a business. So they're just so, a lot of businesses are just so poorly run, they go bust. And so it's nobody's fault, no harm, no foul, but we want to avoid them if we can. Those businesses that aren't scams and don't go bust get shut down by regulators and government departments. Some government departments take great delight in shutting down businesses, not because they're doing anything wrong, but because they can. And if you don't believe me, go to the public records of the FCA in the UK, the AFCA in Australia, or ASIC, sorry, in Australia, or the SEC, any of the SEC offices, and look at what they've done to shut businesses down that they think they don't know for sure. They just think there's something dodgy going on, and rather than work it all out, they just shut them down. Okay, and if you look at the legal documents that are produced, and if you can read a legal document, you'll realize if you just cut out the bits that are to do with opinions and suppositions and assumptions, okay, there's nothing left. They assume this, they make this generalized statement, and then they say, and in my opinion, it's this. And so the whole thing isn't worth the paper it's written on. However, if you're one of those businesses, you've now got to decide, am I going to spend the next 5 years of my life and 10, 15, 20 million dollars to fight these people? Or is it better for me just to shut up shop and walk away? And most people choose the easier option and just walk away. They say, well, I tried to do something, but everything was against me, and so I'll just go away and have an easy life. So these regulators don't help the investors because we never see our money again. Once they've shut a business down, we don't get our money back. If they'd left the business to continue to operate, then we could have got our money back. So there we go. It doesn't matter how much money you make in online businesses, you cannot become truly free, financially free, time free, and free from government control. You just can't. Money is only one piece of the puzzle. However, you listen to people talking about online businesses, and they would have you believe that you can solve all of your problems just with the money. That's absolutely not the case. You need to there's more to the picture than just the money. Collectively, we can help most of us avoid the pitfalls of the industry. Some of us will still make mistakes, we'll still lose a little bit of money, but collectively, we can help most of us avoid the pitfalls of the industry. We're safer together, and with safety comes time. And what you want the time for is so that you can start small and build. Nobody's ever going to start as big as they want. If somebody's got $1 million to invest, they'd wish they'd started with 2 million. If somebody's got $100 to invest, they'd wish they'd started with 200. Okay, so it doesn't matter what level you get in at. That's the smallest you're going to have, and then you want to be able to build on top of that. And you need time, you need safety and time. So the benefits of the following all the rules of Wealth Warriors is you will never lose all of your money to a scammer again. Okay, if one of the platforms we're working with does go bust or get shut down, or that just it turns out to be a scam, okay, we will lose. We will lose the money that we've invested with that platform, but we haven't invested all of our money in that one platform. If we have, then we're not following the rules of Wealth Warriors. Benefit 2, your team develops deep loyalty and commitment to you, and that's a rare thing these days, to have a whole team of people deeply loyal and committed to you. Benefit 3, you can protect your permanent network of contacts. And I'm going to show an illustration in a minute, and you'll be able to see from that illustration that bit is actually one of the mainstays of what we're trying to do with Wealth Warriors. And you can build future business much faster and with far more profit. Now, that's not one of the mainstays of the system, but it's a really great thing to know and to have. Benefit 5, you can build one business, and we have 4 businesses at the moment. We can build one business and we grow all of the businesses. So your effort is in one business. Meanwhile, you have 3 other businesses growing without much time and money input from you. Benefit 6, you can recoup loans, mortgages, and all your recent expenditure. I'll cover that when we go through that particular platform. And you can become free and wealthy and live an abundant life. Okay, an abundant life is more than just having wealth. Because if all you've got is wealth, and your money, let's suppose your money's in gold, and gold suddenly is of no value, no interest to anybody, which it wouldn't be, of course, gold wouldn't be. But then all of you, yes, you're wealthy, but the next day you've got nothing. And you see this with all sorts of things that happen. Businesses go bust, whole industries change. Countries, their currency becomes worthless in a very short space of time because of war or famine or floods or whatever else. Okay, so you can't have an abundant life just by accident. You've got to plan for it, you've got to work towards it, and you've got to have all the pieces in place to make that happen for you. So I'm going to show you an illustration, but first I'm just going to finish my coffee. Excellent. So we have an assumption when we make an illustration. It's basically it's not true, but it's I want to show you this so you can get an idea of how it works. And to do that, I need to make some assumptions. And the assumptions are that we deal with 4 platforms, that you have a business, you have a team of people, 10 people, and they are in all 4 platforms with you. And the next assumption is you make $1,000 per month in each of the 4 platforms. Therefore, your total income is $4,000 per month. So let's have a look and see what that looks like. So this is you. You've introduced 3 of your friends, Alan, Bell, and Chris, and they've introduced some of their friends. Okay, and as a result of that, your income is $1,000 per month. Okay, it doesn't matter what the businesses are, what they do, but your income is $1,000 per month, and everybody else has got a different income as a reward for their own level of activity based on whatever that platform does. So let's move that out of the way because we want to make some room for platform 2. And in platform 2 now you have introduced Alan and Bell and Chris, exactly the same as you did in platform 1, and they've introduced their friends. So as a result of you having 10 people in platform 2, you have your total income now is $2,000 per month. So let's move that out of the way to make room for platform 3. And in platform 3, you've introduced Alan and Bell and Chris, exactly the same as you did in the first 2 platforms. And as a result of having 10 people in a group in platform 3, you now earn $3,000 per month. So let's move that out of the way because we need to make room for platform 4. On platform 4, you've introduced Alan and Bell and Chris in exactly the same positions as they have with all of their friends in exactly the same positions in all of the businesses. And so your income now is $4,000 per month. So let's run with that for a few weeks, a few months, hopefully even a few years. And what would happen over a period of time is people would introduce new people and they would introduce them to one of the platforms. And over a period of time, by introducing them to Wealth Warriors, we would encourage them to go and join the same position in the other 3 platforms. Okay, so we have 10 people in all 4 platforms for an indefinite period of time. But then what happens is something goes horribly wrong with platform 4, and it could be anything. It could be the person who's running it now wants to retire. It could be the person who's running it, who's the only one who knew what was happening. He's been hit by a bus, or he's in a medically induced coma for some reason. Again, there's nobody to take over from him. It could be the regulators decided to shut platform 4 down for whatever reason. Okay, but what happens is platform 4 has gone. So what that means is you now have 3 platforms and your income hasn't ended, hasn't finished. It's not gone to 0. Your income has now dropped to $3,000 per month. So you still have an income based on the fact you still have 3 platforms on the go. So now my job is to go out and find platform 5. And when we get platform 5, you introduce your 3 friends in exactly the same positions as you have in the previous platforms, and they do the same for their friends. So that means your income is increased now back up to $4,000 per month. And so we move platform 5 out the way because we want to make room for platform, the next platform and the platform after that. And there's a limit to how many platforms we can run at any one time. I think it's about 6 or 7, but that's good security and good income based on that number of platforms. So that's an illustration of how Wealth Warriors works. You can see that you don't lose all of your money when something goes wrong, and you don't lose your friends when something goes wrong, because what normally happens is we get into a business, an online business, and we introduce our friends, they put some money in, that business goes bust, and our friends hate us because they think, 1, they feel silly that they trusted us. 2, they think that you got all the money So, that's it. They don't see that the money went to the company and you've got none of it. They think that you got all the money. And so they don't like you anymore. But in this system, when a platform fails, you're still looking after them in 3 other businesses or 4 other businesses. Okay, so they don't hate you. You haven't lost all your money. They haven't lost all of their money. So if you want the benefits, you must follow the rules. And the rules are, one, don't sign up in any other platform that comes along. If it's a good platform, Wealth Warriors will adopt it at some point. There's this fallacy out there that I'm fighting hard to educate people that it is a fallacy. You don't need to. So the fallacy is you need to be the first one in and sign up as many people as you can into one of these businesses. You want to be upline so that all the people that get in below you add to your wealth. Well, if you do that with the system we've built with Wealth Warriors, you'll actually destroy your Wealth Warriors community. Okay, and you don't have to take my word for it, but I can show it to you. The psychology behind it, what people are expecting from you, and what happens if you don't provide that. They'll all think they can do their own thing if they see you doing your own thing. So yeah, it's easy to break a system. It takes hard work and dedication to keep a system online or on track, I should say. So don't sign up in any other platform. You don't need to be the first one in. Or let me ask you a question another way. Would you rather be the first one into a platform? So you've got 4 platforms with Wealth Warriors, and then you decide you're going to be the first one in to a platform and try and introduce it to Wealth Warriors, just so that all the people in Wealth Warriors are going to be downline from you in that group. Okay, or would you rather have a platform that as soon as you get involved in it, you can slot 1,000 people or 500 people or 10,000 people straight into that within the space of a few days? Personally, I'd rather have the second one. It's a lot less work and it's a lot more profitable. If you're the first one in, so that you're the upline of a large group of people, then you're the one who's got to make up the support system and be there for people and answer all the questions and so on and so forth. So it's not the best solution to be the first one in, particularly when you have the option of what we're offering in Wealth Warriors. So the second point, do sign up in all the platforms we adopt. It just stands to reason. You want to have that security. You might not like the platforms. You might not want to put a huge amount of money in, but you do want to sign up and make the minimum investment in all of the platforms. So therefore, you can maintain lines of sponsorship across all platforms. You get your personally introduced people to do the same as you're doing and support your own people by learning about all of the platforms we adopt. Now, you don't have to be an expert in all of the platforms, but just be able to help people with some of the basics: how to deposit, how to do the basics, how to withdraw, how to raise support tickets. Very, very simple things that you don't need to be an expert, but just some of the basics. So if you want the benefits, you must follow the rules. And the rules are to ensure you get security of income and build your permanent network and become wealthy and live an abundant life. So that's why you have the rules. And if you don't want those things, then don't do your own thing. Don't worry about the rules. Don't even bother being part of Wealth Warriors. Okay, it's everyone here is a volunteer. But if you're going to volunteer, then you may as well do it the right way. Being community centric means that you put your community first, not yourself. And I say that because everybody says, if you talk to people within this online business community, if you like, or area, every leader says, yes, I put my people first. But then they carry on talking and you realize, no, they don't. They think they do. They say they do. It sounds like it's the sort of thing that should be said. But most of these top gurus and big leaders are not putting their people first at all. If somebody doesn't do what they want them to do, they're out. They're not flavor of the month anymore. And what they talk about is how they achieve their ranks, how hard they work to get their money, how much money they've got, all the different rewards they're getting. Okay, that's not putting the community first. Okay, so remember, platforms come and go, but the community is permanent. And you can't. So what I mean by that is, don't become over invested in one business. Try and keep your portfolio across the 4 platforms balanced up. Because if you say, well, I don't like these 3, but I like that one, and you put everything you can into that one, then what's the difference between that and just being on your own without Wealth Warriors and you know, and only having one platform? Because if that's the one that fails, then being a Wealth Warrior has been no benefit to you. So platforms come and go, but the community is permanent. Look after your people first. Okay, so what are the criteria for adopting a platform? One, it must be available in the whole world. Two, it must have a unilevel compensation plan. Three, people must be able to join for free or get involved in a passive income program for a very low entry cost. So the type of business we like to be involved in is passive income generation and a low entry cost. Okay, so if we find that, then we consider we might have a business worth looking into. And if we have 1, 2, and 3, then that's the minimum we need in order to maintain lines of sponsorship. And it must be based on real world applications, not just a money game. We must be able to verify the company's legal status and its involvement in the real world activities. And if possible, we must be able to meet the CEO or business owner, and having met him, we must have gotten all of our questions answered. The compensation plan must be viable and sustainable. And the membership of Wealth Warriors must all be able to get behind the project. Okay, so don't get involved in anything to do with gambling or money lending and anything like that. I say arms dealing, but that's kind of tongue in cheek. So the first platform, so I'm going to show you now the 4 platforms we're working with. The first one is called Matrix Freedom. And Matrix Freedom basically has 2 strands to their offering for us. The first one is Roadmap to Freedom, which was the original Matrix Freedom for many years. And the second strand is called I Am Free. Roadmap to Freedom covers all of the financial aspects of the system, how much money you can get back, how much you can generate for yourself. And I Am Free covers all of the lawful requirements to become free of the matrix, free of the system, free from control, government control, or control of corporations and institutions. Okay, you become free from all of those burdens. So what you do is you sign up as a member for free, and you can enroll for one or other of both of these strands. If you enroll for one, it doesn't affect the other one. So you can do one or other or both. And being in either process does not take away from your ability to be an affiliate or a network organizer. So it's not automatic that you become an affiliate with Matrix Freedom. So I think I'm about to sneeze. Give me a second, please. Yeah, so you don't automatically become an affiliate or a network organizer. You have to actually request it, and they will process it for you, and then they'll announce you're now an affiliate. They'll give you a different login and password. And an affiliate can enroll members, and they can introduce members to Matrix Freedom, and they can earn commissions as a result of helping people from the financial aspect. And a network organizer not only has members for themselves, but they also have affiliates below them. So the Roadmap to Freedom is about claiming back your checking account or current account for outgoings for 2022 at the moment. And that costs $1,000 per personal account, sorry, £1,000 per personal account, or £2,000 per business account. So I volunteered for, so I didn't volunteer, I signed up for two bank accounts. One was personal, one was a business. And so for 2022, I'm claiming back about $168,000. And that cost me £3,000. So for about $3,500, I'm claiming back $168,000. You can also then, once you've done the first one, you can do the second one. You can't claim back the current year, but in right now, in the middle of 2025, we can claim back 2002, 2003, 2004. In January next year, you won't have access to 2022, but you can add in 2025 because the 2025 year is finished. Okay, so every year we can add on the most recent year and claim back all of our outgoings from however many bank accounts we have. Okay, so it's up to you if you've got a bank account that it's worth spending $1,000 or sorry, £1,000 or £2,000 to get the money recouped. If it's so if your outgoings are more than that, then it's worth doing. You can discharge mortgages, loans, taxes, and other debts. Discharge just means pay it off. if you have a mortgage on a property or a boat or a plane or anything, you can get that discharged, and you can create new currency to acquire a property. And if you understand how the currency creation system works within the banking system and the treasury system, you'll realize that that's how you create currency. You get somebody to sign a piece of paper, and all of a sudden there is new currency in circulation. So you can do that for yourself. You can create new currency and say, thank you very much, that's mine. And you can do the same to acquire a car, a boat, a house, a helicopter, private island. Okay, I think the limit is somewhere around about $10,000 per year, I believe, but don't quote me on that. And then you can also learn how to control and shelter your assets in a private trust, and you can create new currency as needed to live a life of abundance. So you might just say, well, on an ongoing basis, I need $1 million a year to live on. So every year you create $1 million a year. On the I am free side, you correct your status and standing. That's your lawful or your legal status compared to your lawful status. So you become free from the state, free from the control matrix, free from government, corporations, and so on, and you become an independent sovereign person. And you then can, if you want to, and I'd suggest you do, rescind all unlawful contracts, because each of those unlawful contracts ties you back into the matrix, ties you back into the system. So you get rid of the unlawful contracts and you replace them with lawful contracts, which don't tie you into the system. And they'll teach you how to do this, or they'll actually do most of this for you. You can set up a private trust to operate for you without being enjoined to the control matrix. You can transfer the allodial title of all your assets to your private trust. Okay, so the allodial title is the real title, the real ownership of an asset. For example, if you own a house, you paid off the mortgage, you think you own it, you don't. That house is registered to the land registry in the UK or to some other agency, wherever you are in the world. And if it's registered to a government agency, that property belongs to the government. If they want to tear it down, they will. You've got no say over the matter. They might have to give you some money for it, but not necessarily. Okay, so the allodial title of that property then can be transferred into a private trust, and the government or anybody else can't touch that property then, because nobody can touch anything that lives within a private trust. If they could do that, then all of the banking families would be up in arms, because that's how they protect all of their assets. You can engage with the Old Souls Nation Foundation to assure your protection and sovereignty going forward. You can even get your own passport, your own driving license, and you would be registered as an ambassador. So you would have diplomatic immunity from the state, the jurisdiction where you reside. You would be your own sovereign nation, and so that will be borne out by the fact you're an ambassador. So I'm going to skip through these. There's plenty of information on the website. I'll go through a little bit more of that in a minute. So the next platform we deal with is called BitHarvest, and BitHarvest is a clever, very clever system, and it's based on these little electronic devices called bit boosters. And a bit booster costs, at the moment, costs $1,000. There's a new one available, so these that you're looking at now will be obsolete. In terms of they won't be obsolete. You just won't be able to buy them anymore for $1,000. The new ones cost $1,500. And at the moment, you can buy these boosters. These are called AI70s. You can buy 10% shares for $100. So you can buy 30% of a booster, 50% of a booster, 1% of a booster, 10% of a booster, whatever you want, and it costs you $100 per share. So you can buy as many as you want. At the moment, there are plans for the new boosters to be broken down into shares as well at $150 each, but I've not heard that that's actually been finalized. My information could be out of date, but I'm not sure if that's been finalized. But everybody hopes it will be. So what do the boosters do? They enhance miners' profits, and they work with any mining farm in the world. So you buy them, you don't receive them yourself and plug them into your machine. They're retained by head office, and they're plugged into their server farm, their booster farm, and through the magic of the internet, your booster connects via VPN to a mining farm somewhere in the world and helps them increase their profitability. As a result of the increased profitability, you get some of that money. BitHarvest, it's the company itself, gets some of that money, and you get some of the money. So from your own boosters, you earn about, well, $5 to $10 is still a little bit ambitious. It's around about $3 a day per bit booster. Okay, so don't worry about the percentages, but it's passive income. It comes in every single day, and it comes in Bitcoin every single day. So the plan with Bitcoin is that you save it, and you wait for the price of Bitcoin to increase to $1 million, $2 million, $3 million, $10 million per Bitcoin, and then you cash at the point where you're comfortable with the profit you've made. You cash in all the Bitcoin you've saved up from your boosters. You can also earn commissions on sales of bit boosters, and you also earn a percentage override of the Bitcoin mined in your group. Now, when I say in your group, that presupposes you sell a friend of yours a booster, and all of a sudden he's one of the boosters in your group. And when that booster makes money for him, it also makes a little bit of money for you, and you get paid that in Bitcoin. If you want to buy more boosters, so if you want to manually compound earnings, then you just buy more boosters or shares. And consider that bit boosters, they're not a business, they're an income producing asset. They're a little doohickey device that you plug in somewhere and it just makes Bitcoin for you every single day. So like a rental property on ATM machine, it just makes Bitcoin for you every single day. So this chart is to show you that if you have more boosters, then in 5 years' time, your accumulated Bitcoin will be worth more money. I don't think it's a stretch of the imagination to get to that point. So this is saying that if you have if Bitcoin in 5 years' time is worth $1,000 per Bitcoin, a lot of people expect that to be the case. Then if you have one booster, your Bitcoin's worth 200,000. If you have 5 boosters, your Bitcoin will be worth 1 million. If you have 100 boosters, your Bitcoin will be worth 20 million. So the more boosters you have, the more your accumulated Bitcoin will be worth in the future. So I've got several slides here. I'm going to skip through them very quickly because this strategy is based on just hitting star ranks. And star ranks are achieved by introducing more and more people who buy boosters. And they introduce people and they introduce people and so on. So eventually you hit the 1-star level. It's not a massively difficult level to achieve. This whole section of all these star levels is based on the Bitcoin price being 70,000. Okay, and in 5 years' time, Bitcoin is 1 million per Bitcoin. So at the 1-star level, if you save up all your Bitcoin in 5 years' time, it will be worth $274,000. At the 2-star level, if you save up all your Bitcoin for 5 years, it'll be worth 1.3 million. At the 3-star level, after 5 years, your Bitcoin will be worth 3.3 million. At the 4-star level, after 5 years, your Bitcoin will be worth 10 million. 5-star level, your Bitcoin after 5 years will be 30 million. At 6-star, after 5 years, your Bitcoin will be worth 60 million. After 5 years, the 7-star level, your Bitcoin will be worth 95 million. And 8 years, the minimum income for your Bitcoin 8 years is going to be 354 million, roughly. So that's strategy 2. Strategy 3 is this is comparing buying a Bitcoin against buying a number of boosters. So let's assume that Bitcoin is worth 70,000, and in two years' time it's going to be worth 200,000. You buy a Bitcoin now for 70,000, and in 2 years' time it's worth 200,000. So in 2 years you've made 130,000 profit. Or you buy 70 boosters at $1,000 each, and you earn for 2 years, and after 4.5 million, after 2 years, your accumulated Bitcoin would be worth 4.5 million at a price of 200,000. And the beauty of that is those boosters don't stop after 2 years. They just keep on churning out Bitcoin every day. You have 434 boosters, and they will earn you 4.5 million per year from then on. So that's strategy number 3. Don't buy a Bitcoin. Use the same money to buy boosters. So let's look at Cryptex. Cryptex is a great business. It doesn't quite fit the criteria I talked about earlier, but we sort of put it in there because it has a lot of the things we like, and a lot of people like it. So it's a crypto investment company, and it's a uniform platform, so I'm not going to go through too much of the technical stuff. So basically what we do is we get rewarded for providing staking, liquidity, if you like, for other people to use, and when they use it, we make a profit on it. So we lend them a certain amount of money, and when they give it back, we've made a profit. So the basic way it works is you put a stake into Cryptex, and they take that money and they use that money to buy a loan or to take out a loan. So your money has gone to take out a loan. That loan is the staking money. It's many times more than the $100 that you put in, and also the fees from that loan all gets lent out as liquidity, and the profit also pays for the bank fees every year, and it also pays for the insurance fees every month. And then at the end of the staking period, whether it's 3 years, 5 years, 7 years, or 10 years, sorry, 10 years isn't available just yet, but it doesn't matter. At the end of the staking period, then the loan is repaid from the money in the pot. Okay, the weekly and so the monthly and annual fees have all been kept up to date over the intervening period, and so whatever's left at the end is your profit, and you'll see some of that profit in a minute. I actually want to put together a chart of the different options we have for the different plans or the different staking plans, so that you can see the difference in the profit, and it's quite staggering. But even the lowest level is really, really very good. So the minimum investment is $100. You can. There is an option to take advantage of a special offer that's been available for a little while, but I'm sure it won't last forever. And instead of $100 buying you one plan, you can put $1,000 in, and instead of getting 10 plans, you get 15 plans. So that's a 50% increase in your investment immediately. The thing we don't like, though, is once you put your money in, it's tied up for the whole staking period. You don't get any money back on a daily, weekly, monthly basis. You have to wait till the end of the period, and then you get all of your profit in one single lump sum. So that's the reason we didn't like it initially, because we like to have platforms that pay out every single day. So the typical payout for $100 investment is $43,800. So my first contract after 21 months, starting with $100, is worth $15,394 at the moment, and it's earning $31 every day. So on this trajectory, my first contract, my first $100 contract, when it matures in 14 months' time, I think that's right, July next year, 15 months' time, doesn't matter. It'll be up around that 30. It'll be around $34,000. So let's just have a look at that. The figures we're looking at here are the $45,000 there. That's what's actively staked. My money was used to create a loan for that amount. So they've taken that amount and staked it, and the outstanding loan balance is still 30,000. So the total profit so far has been 15,000, and this is what I earned yesterday, $31. So my $100 has earned me $15,000 so far. So after 1 year, I started to add $100 packages, and I now have 6 contracts for a total of $600. This is a picture of my recent profits from these 6 contracts. I lifted this from my site earlier today, and this is the profit made in the last day. So across all 6 contracts, all of which were $100, I made $195 in the last 24 hours. In the last week, I've made $1,000 based on my $600 commitment, and over the month, I've made over $4,500. Now I can't get that back until the end of each of those staking periods, but even so, where else do you get $600? Put it in a pot somewhere, and it makes you $4,500 a month. It's pretty phenomenal. It's a great business. It's a great business system. If you take the time to look into it, watch the videos, read the white paper and so on, it really is a very, very clever system that's working really well. So here's some strategies. One is to have, and this was my original strategy, just invest $100 and sit back and see what happens. So after 3 years, we draw $43,000. Brilliant. Okay, I like that. put in 100, forget all about it, come back and withdraw 43,000. Strategy 2, let's do something along the same lines, but a little bit bigger. Let's put in $1,000, and so at the end of the 3 years, withdraw 438,000. Okay, that's not including the fact that if you put $1,000 in right now, you get 15 contracts, not 10. This is based on 10 contracts. So if you take advantage of that special offer, that 438 becomes 700 and something odd. Sorry, 600 and a big number. Okay, for $1,000 outlay. Now that's a pretty good second strategy. The third strategy is invest on an ongoing basis. Every quarter you put $100 in, which means that after 3 years, your total outlay is $1,200. Not a massive amount of outlay for a savings plan. I know people spend more than that on their hobby, certainly over 3 years. But after 3 years, then you'll be able to withdraw $43,000 every single quarter, which means you have an ongoing income of $175,000 a year. Okay, I suspect that most of us could live quite comfortably on $175,000 a year. Might not quite be able to manage the millionaire lifestyle, but you'd be very, very close. And strategy 4 is to increase that a little bit and do it instead of every quarter, invest $100 every month. After 3 years now, your total outlay has been $3,600. Again, I know people spend more than that on their hobbies. Last year, I actually spent 3 times that on a month in Spain for myself and all my family. Okay, this is 3 years worth of investing. What I spent in Spain was actually 9 years worth of investing at $100 per month. So that's, just to give you some, most people spend more than that, or they lose more than that when they drive their new car off the showroom floor, or the dealer's lot. Okay, they lose more than $3,600. So that can fund your investment strategy for 3 years at $100 a month. So after 3 years, then you'll be withdrawing $43,000 a month. So your annual income will be over $500,000 per year. Now, with $500,000 per year, you definitely can live the millionaire lifestyle. The millionaire lifestyle begins, in fact, if you're a millionaire and you stay in the hotels you like, on the holidays you like, drive whatever car you like, and so on and so forth, that costs a certain amount of money. But if somebody's earning $20,000 a month, they can live exactly the same lifestyle. Their lifestyle is indistinguishable at $20,000 per month from a millionaire lifestyle. Okay, so if you're earning $43,000 a month, then you're definitely up there in the millionaire lifestyle bracket. And then the last strategy I'm going to talk to you about is a lifetime savings and income. Invest $100 every week. I know people that do this, they save up for their Christmas, they call it a layaway plan or a Christmas savings plan. Invest $100 or put away $100 every week. And come Christmas time, they've got £5,000 or $5,000 to go and spend on Christmas, buy all the booze and all the food and all the presents and so on. So if they were to take that money and do that here for 3 years, then the total outlay after 3 years is $15,600. And after 3 years, they can withdraw $175,000 every month. Their annual income would be $2.2 million. Okay, and then every week when one of these plans matures, you just take $100 of that plan. You withdraw $175,000. You take $100 and put it back in to keep seeding, keep the planting going for your harvest in 3 years' time. So that's the that's a weird one. Something's clearly gone wrong. The fourth one is UBX. Okay, I'm going to run through a little bit about UBX, but I'm not going to spend too long on it. Let me tell you why I'm not going to spend too long on it. At the moment, UBX exchange is down. People can't access UBX. We're not absolutely certain why. We have people making inquiries of the owners or the people that run the exchange. Okay, so at the moment it's not available. A lot of people think that the platform's gone completely and we'll never see our money again. A lot of people are still hoping that won't be the case. We hope to have the definitive answer in the next 24 to 48 hours. Personally, I'm not emotionally invested. If it continues to work, that's great, and if it's gone, that's great as well. yeah, it's a shame that you take a few steps forward and then get knocked back a little bit. But I'm thinking of this or taking this as the sign that we're doing the right things with Wealth Warriors, because my income hasn't dropped all the way down to zero because if UBX has gone, I can't withdraw from UBX at the moment, so my income hasn't gone completely. I have other platforms producing income for me. So, and I haven't lost friends because the friends that I'm in UBX with, I'm in other platforms with. So, and they understand that, we're doing the best we can with what we've got. Nobody made any guarantees to anybody. That, you can never be 100% sure, because even if a platform isn't a scam and isn't a poorly run business, it could still get shut down by regulators for no reason at all. And so we don't know quite what's happened with UBX. We're hoping it's still available, but if not, then we'll replace it with another platform, and we'll just pick ourselves up, dust ourselves off, and get on with it all over again. Because the alternative is to say, well, okay, it's all just too tough. I'm not going to do anymore. I'm going to give up on my dreams. I'm not going to live a wealthy and abundant lifestyle. It's all just too tough. I'm out of it. Okay, we're not going to do that. So we might as well just be pragmatic, be optimistic by all means, but also be pragmatic that from time to time we're going to get involved in a platform that we're going to lose, and we're going to lose some money. But this is also a good reason, or a good example, if you like, of why we say to people, don't put in more money than you can afford to lose. And also, as quickly as you can, get your money back out. Okay, so if you put $1,000 in, as quickly as you can, get $1,000 out and put it back in somewhere safe, your hard wallet or somewhere. Okay, because then if the platform goes down, it's not cost you anything. It's annoying, it's frustrating, but it's not the end of the world for you, because you haven't really lost, you just haven't won. So I'm not going to go into UBX too much. I will flick through to just see if there's anything interesting to say. There is a video that I was thinking I might show you, but we're kind of running out of time. Yeah, so we were looking at these different strategies. These are comparison between two strategies. And that's it. We're not going to talk any more about UBX, although no doubt you'll want to ask some questions about it a little bit later, which I welcome. So our communications, we run a Telegram group. So make sure your upline adds you to that group so you can keep up to date with changes. We hold this Zoom call every Sunday at 10 o'clock UK time. Attend yourself and bring new people. Bringing new people is a shortcut to fast growth, because we can teach them about Wealth Warriors. You might teach them a little bit about one platform. You might invite them to one platform. Then you bring them along here. I'd show them why we're doing what we're doing with Wealth Warriors, why it makes sense to get involved in all 4 platforms. Attend the Zoom calls of all the platforms. Sorry, just go back to the last point. I do that with my own people as well. When I'm talking to people, I don't try to talk to them about 4 different platforms. I talk to them about one platform. And then once they've shown an interest in that, I get them along to Wealth Warriors on Sunday, or send them a video of this session. Okay, because it's too much. When you talk about one platform and you start saying, well, I've got this platform. Oh, and if you sign up in that or don't sign up in that, no problem. I've got another platform for you. Okay, do that or don't do it. But look, I've got another platform, and it's makes you look kind of desperate. So I don't do that. I introduce people to one platform, give them a video about Wealth Warriors, and encourage them to join us in all the platforms. Okay, so also attend all the Zoom calls. In our Telegram group, we make sure that all of the different platforms Zoom calls are publicized. With Matrix Freedom, work your way through the webinars and books at your own pace, but get the first roadmap completed as soon as possible. So what to do now? Get the referral links for all the platforms from the person who invited you to this presentation or showed you this video. Register in all the opportunities and make a note of all your referral links, and then pass these links on to your friends, neighbours, work colleagues, and so on. Make a minimum payment into all the opportunities. If you can't do this, select the project that interests you the most and make a minimum payment to get that platform started. But do sign up in all the platforms, even if you don't yet fund them. Now, there are some platforms where you say, well, if I don't fund them, I'll miss out on commissions if the people below me do fund them. Absolutely, yes. But that's your choice. What you don't want to be doing is slowing people down below you just because you might miss out on $10 of commission. Okay, get them moving, get them started, get that momentum moving. Okay, because once you do fund at a later stage, then you start earning commissions at that point. Okay, so don't slow people down just because you don't have $100 to get everything started. Okay. So ask your introducer to be added to the Wealth Warriors Telegram group. Attend a Zoom call or watch the video for each platform you've added funds to your account. And as new platforms are added, so when we introduce a new platform, it'll be announced on a Sunday evening Zoom call like this one. Okay, so then start phoning up and pestering the person who introduced you and get their referral link. And I've seen this happen. It's really a joy to behold people phoning up saying, I want my referral link, hurry up and sign up. Okay, so you do generate that loyalty from your friends, and they want you to sign up so that they can get signed up and get on with it. So then pass your referral link to your existing team and get on a presentation for that new platform as soon as possible. You don't have to be an expert, just have a working knowledge. So grow your Wealth Warriors community by bringing more people to the Wealth Warriors Zoom calls or by sharing this video from YouTube. You only have to promote the 1 or 2 platforms you're excited about and bring people to Wealth Warriors for them to learn why they should sign up in all the platforms. Build one platform, have 4 or more platforms grow below you. So you can get a Wealth Warriors landing page by signing up for a free account with System.io, and all you do is take that link, click on that link, and that will do a number of things. One is System.io will create an account for you. They will then copy the landing page across to your account, and they will copy a series of 15 emails across to your account. And all you have to do then is go into each of those emails and change the referral link from my link to your link. You can also get a Cryptex landing page by taking this link and adding your own Cryptex wallet to the link in place of where it says C12345678990. You put your own Cryptex wallet account in there. Marketing materials, chat groups, PDF documents, videos, prospecting scripts, introduction emails, YouTube channels, and a whole lot more can be found here. UBX has a Notion site. Cryptex has a boards site, and Matrix Freedom has a website that's different from the platform. Okay, so the platform is where you go to become a member and to go through all your processes, but the website has so much information. Every video on the website is 10 minutes long, so everything you want to know about how the Matrix Freedom system works is there in 10-minute videos. So just a quick reminder, we're building a solid foundation on which we can base our financial futures. We're not interested in what people want to give us. We're interested in what we can create with our own imagination, our own strategizing. We only work with companies that are in it for the long term, as far as we can tell. We only work with companies that are above board, as far as we can tell. We build a large asset, which in turn will deliver us a large income, whatever that asset is, whether it's boosters or whether it's liquidity plans, or it doesn't matter what it is. Okay, we want a lot of it because that will give us a lot of return. Only platforms that meet our rigorous criteria are even considered. You'd be amazed how many we reject. Every single week we reject dozens and dozens of platforms, and there's a lot of rubbish out there. The point is that we apply our rules to this industry to achieve our outcomes. We're not interested in what other people tell us or try to convince us of. It's what we can prove to ourselves, because it's our outcomes. It's what we want. It's not what they want to give us. It's what we want to create. A completely different turnaround from what most platforms and most businesses out there are trying to do. We're not interested in what they're trying to do. We want to see, can they fit into what we're trying to do? And if they can, great. And if they can't, then so long, Jack. Sayonara. So finally, it's important to remain safe on the internet and in the world of online opportunities at all times. So do not share your password or other credentials with anyone. Where it's available, set up. Sorry, just a word of warning there. I was helping somebody a while ago, and we hadn't looked at one of their accounts for a long time. There was a period of time, months and months ago, when that particular platform was being hacked and people were getting into accounts and changing withdrawal addresses. But because I wasn't working with that person at that time, I didn't check. So I started working with them a little while later, and it came to the point we were going to withdraw some money from their account. And I just went ahead and pushed the withdraw button, used the address that was registered in their account, and it turns out they'd been hacked months and months earlier, and lost their money. So of course I'm doing the decent thing by reimbursing them that, but it was worth just taking the time, just an extra 10 minutes to check that address. Where's the money going? Have we got control of that wallet address? Okay, so I won't make that mistake again. And if I can, with this little story, if I can help you avoid doing that the first time, then I'll be happy. Okay, so that's it really. Just you can never check too much. Take it slow, check twice, and then do it. So where it's available, set up your 2FA on your account. So if you don't know what this is or how to do it, Google 2FA. Very often there'll be an FAQ within that platform that will tell you how to set up 2FA, two-factor authentication. Back up your passwords on your 2FA codes in a secure location. Write it down, keep it safe. Keep it in a safe if you have a safe. Make sure the executors of your will or your beneficiaries have access to this information in the event of your death or incapacitation. Okay, you don't want to build up a small fortune in Bitcoin only to find out when you need to pass it on to some other people that they have no access to it. In fact, they may not even know you have that small fortune because it wouldn't be in your bank accounts. So get back to the person who invited you on this call or referred you to this video. They're ready and waiting to help you avoid scams, protect your permanent network, and create immense personal wealth. So I'm going to stop the share and come back to the room, and I'll open it up we've got a few minutes before the hour. So I'm going to open up, allow people to unmute themselves. So if somebody has a question, down the bottom of the Zoom window, there's a little heart-shaped thing that says react. And if you click on that, the bottom button or the second from bottom button is raise hand. And if you raise the hand, it looks like that. And I know you've got a question you want to ask, and then you can unmute yourself and come and talk to me. If anybody's got a question, please do. Sigma, hi.
Andy, I have a question. Hi, Andy.
Hey, Sigma, how you doing?
I'm doing good, Andy. Thanks. How are you?
I'm incredible, thank you.
Sorry, I came in late. I just got home. I was just wondering if you heard any news on UBX yet.
No, I was sent a video earlier. I haven't watched it yet, but apparently the person who sent it to me said, I'm optimistic that this means they're going to recover because they wouldn't have wasted their time doing all of these things if they weren't at least going to try to recover. So yeah, I don't know anything definitively. I've been told that we will have a definitive answer in the next 24 to 48 hours.
Okay, thank you.
So all we can do is hope. Really, there's nothing more we can do.
Yeah.
So, and anybody else got a question? Hezron, you were.
Yeah. Hi, how are you, Andy?
I'm incredible. Thanks. How are you?
Good. Okay. So I just had a question about the Matrix Freedom regarding your account. So I just want to know, when did you start your application?
Oh dear. Well, first the Earth call, then the dinosaurs died out. Then I started my application with Matrix Freedom. That's quite a while ago. I looked at them probably about 3 years ago, and I started studying up until December of 2022. And in 2022, I started talking about, I then became a member. Membership was kind of new back then. And in March of 2023, I paid some money. I said, but all the things they were offering at the time were completely different. They were offering a secure party creditor service at the time, so I paid for that. That was about £6,000. But then they stopped doing that and started introducing some other things, bank recruitment, and I think that probably they didn't have currency creation. Sorry, it's hard to remember what they did have. So they said I could use some of my credit to do the bank recruitment. So I did that starting in May 2023. So we're coming up now. In fact, this month now, it's 2 years since I started my first bank recruitment process. But in that time, they've been down many false starts, and not all their fault. Many times they discover something better and they abandon the old system and put in place a new system. Sometimes it's the IRS in America that says, sorry, we can't talk to you about that because you used the wrong form, or you haven't got one of these notarized, or we need a foreign sorry, forgot what they're called now, but we need an agent operating in America rather than Australia or the UK. So the IRS don't give you any information if they can avoid it. They wait for you to do something and then wait 3 months for a response. And when you chase them up, they say, "Oh no, you submitted it on the wrong form. And you couldn't have told me that 3 months ago." No, that's not our job. So they're not helpful. But and this is what I say to people about Matrix Freedom, is once they have the system perfected, it will be smooth. People will join and they'll go into the bank recruitment, and within 3 months of starting the bank recruitment, they will have their check in their hand. Certainly 4 months. Whereas, I've been waiting for my first check for 2 years. I've been waiting for my second check now for 8 or 9 months, 9 months maybe. So
first check you already got it, right?
Sorry,
You already got one check.
no,
Did you get already your one check?
no,
Okay.
no. Trust me, when I get a check, everybody's going to know about it. You're all going to know
because
about it.
I talked over the Zoom also with their consultant, and she said now it is faster, so around 3 to 4 months we can recoup your bank payments.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm in the process, but not yet decided whether I should pay right away and start with but they offered me like £3,000 for all the last 3 years, like 22, 23, and 24
Wow, that's
bank
a good deal.
recoupment plus mortgage recoupment and the void and trust everything, roaming and everything, trust bank and everything. So that they offered me £3,000. It was in the March. Now they say that the lady I was talking with, she said chances are that they will extend that offer in April. So I sent the email to her, but that offer is still extended. So she sent me email that we'll talk to you again with a Zoom call, and I'll explain you everything what we have now. So if that is a good, so you can get all your money like maybe within 4 to 6 months,
Yes.
including mortgage.
Yes. And then going forward, of course, you'll be putting all your forms together in January, submitting them in February, and getting all your money in May, June time. So it'll become a regular thing every year once you're in once it's chugging along. And brand new people, you'll know that you can introduce brand new people, and they'll get the results they're looking for within 3 or 4 months. Which is always a worrying thing, isn't it? We don't want to introduce our friends to things where we don't have that much confidence. I feel, I've been honest with all you guys that no, I haven't had my results yet, but I do know that some people have had checks.
Well, I also signed up with the affiliate, so as an affiliate member.
Yeah.
So and some people have signed with me. So, but I told them to wait, just go through all the webinars and all the ebooks and just getting the knowledge, and then just have a just Zoom call with consultant and see what it looks like for you. Then you can go further, right? So
yeah,
everybody has to take their own decision.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, good. Well, good luck with the affiliate side. It's it's a business on its own, so
Yeah.
worth pursuing. Great.
Yeah.
Sean, you're back again.
Yeah, I'm back. Hey, did you know you're still recording?
Yes.
Okay. Question, were you gonna share, said you wanted to share a video with us
Yes,
earlier?
I will switch. I will switch the recorder off then, and we'll have a look at a video. So before I do that, I'm just going to say thank you all for being here. And so I'm not really getting rid of you. I'm just closing down the video. Okay, so good to see you all, and see you all again next Sunday, 10 p.m. UK time. And if you're watching this by video, hope you enjoyed it. Come along to our live call to find out more about Wealth Warriors and get involved because of all the benefits that were outlined earlier in the presentation. So that's it. That's a good night for me, and God bless. See you all next time.
I want to see you win. I want to see you absolutely smash every single dream you have. I want to see you overcome all of the barriers you face, and I want to see you succeed. I'm your biggest fan, your top supporter, and I'll be with you every single step of the way. You're destined for greatness, with or without me, and I want to see you achieve. Your potential is limitless, and your determination is inspiring. Keep striving for your goals, and I'll continue to cheer you on.